Hey, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. Think Thursday is all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We're talking neuroscience. We're talking behavior change. We are talking about your mindset. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Well, hello, and welcome back to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. Think Thursdays are all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. And today's episode is no different. I was sharing over in my Facebook group, I shared a post for Wisdom Wednesday, and I said that it was a quote that I really appreciated because it talks about sort of the intersection of mindfulness and science. And that is definitely one of the reasons that I wanted to do Think Thursdays. I love the intersection between mindfulness and science and understanding how important all of it is in terms of creating the experience that we have here as we are living our lives. This week's topic, I am talking about awe. And it is really one of those emotions that is often overlooked, but it is so powerful. And it has the power to shift our thinking. It actually reduces stress when we experience awe, and it deepens our connection to the world and to the people around us. And it's a tool that we can use to help us reframe our lives. And for that reason, I thought it was worth doing a full episode or I think Thursday episode on the science of awe. Most of this episode is going to be influenced by or coming from a book that I just finished reading called Awe, The New Science of Everyday Wonder and How It Can Transform Your Life. The book was written by Dacher Keltner, who is a certified psychologist and or professor of psychology at UC Berkeley. And he was one of the co-founders of their Greater Good Science Center, which is this really incredible um, mission and driven uh, research place at UC Berkeley called, and here's what it says: the Greater Good Science Center studies the psychology, sociology, and neuroscience of well-being and teaches skills that foster a thriving, resilient, and compassionate society. That is pretty cool, is it not? And so a lot of this stuff that I'm talking to you about on Think Thursdays, definitely a lot of information will be coming through the Greater Good Science Center. And so this episode, let's talk about awe, shall we? We often associate awe with extraordinary moments, like standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, hearing a world-class symphony live, or watching a newborn take their very first breath. But science tells us that awe really isn't just reserved for rare, life-changing experiences. It's available to us every single day, but in small and profound ways. And we're going to talk more about that. What if awe isn't just a feeling, but it's actually a practice, sort of like gratitude, maybe, right? A way of seeing the world that can help us build a more peaceful and fulfilling life. So, like I said, Dacher Keltner is a psychologist, and in partnership with Jonathan Haidt, um, he's really spent a lot of time researching and studying awe throughout his career. And they define Keltner and Haidt define awe as a response to something vast, something that transcends our normal frame of reference and forces us to rethink what we thought we knew. And this could be something physically large, like a towering redwood tree, or something conceptually vast, like an idea that completely changes your worldview. And here's what's fascinating. Scientists have been able to study and quantify awe. Yes, actually be able to study it. Again, this is kind of like I said, I love the marriage of mindfulness and things about the brain, and then actually interspersing that with science. In a study that was conducted in Yosemite National Park, researchers asked people to draw a self-portrait before and after witnessing the landscape there at Yosemite. And the results were that their self portraits shrank. Experiencing awe made them feel smaller, not in a diminishing way, but in a way that reduced their sense of self importance and increased their connection to something greater and bigger than ourselves. And neuroscience backs this up. Studies show that awe quiets that default mode network. Now, I've talked about the DMN now for 2 weeks in Think Thursday episodes. So it is so important to understand how that default mode network is working in the background. And it's the part of the brain that is associated with self focus and ego. And Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, captured a quote or something about awe, which I love this line. Standing on the bare ground, my head bathed by the blithe air and uplifted into infinite space, all mean egotism vanishes. Awe humbles us and it expands our perspective. And that is why it is so important. And we're going to talk about this later about ways of finding awe in everyday life. Now, Keltner's research identified 8 major sources of awe, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on each one of them, but I do want to define each of those 8 wonders. These wonders are all around us, just waiting to be noticed. And so I want you to start paying attention to them. So number 1, and I don't think it's any surprise, is nature. The beauty of the natural world is a wonderful source of awe. Nature is awe's most universal gateway. Whether it's a vast ocean, a towering mountain, or the intricate details of a leaf, nature invites us to step outside of ourselves and see the world's grandeur. Now, this is a great opportunity for you to think about incorporating awe just by getting outside. We've talked about the how good getting outside is for our brains. And next time, try this. Step outside, look up at the sky, and take a deep breath. Watch the clouds move or feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, if you have sun where you are. And let nature remind you that you are definitely part of something much bigger. That is a way to experience awe. Number 2, the second wonder of life is music. Oh, who hasn't been moved by music? And the power of music is to move us, and music can transport us across time and space. A single song can give us chills, bring back vivid memories, or unite a crowd in a shared emotion, right? You've been to a concert, big concert experience. That shared collective experience is a great source of awe. Next time you hear a song, play a song or try this, find a song, remember a song that gives you goosebumps. Close your eyes and really listen to the melody, the lyrics, the way it makes you feel, and let yourself be immersed in that moment. Another way of experiencing awe. Number 3 is visual design, the beauty of human creativity. From architecture to art to everyday objects, design surrounds us. And the structures we walked past, the books we hold in our hands, someone crafted these with intention and care. So next time, try this. Visit a museum or simply admire a beautifully designed object in your own home. And really look at the details. Appreciate the thought that went into this creation. Number 4 is moral beauty, the kindness, strength, and courage of others. Awe isn't just about grand and the vast. It's also about people. And witnessing acts of compassion, of bravery, of generosity can bring us to tears and remind us of humanity's deep goodness. I have a friend who's, or a friend who has been navigating losing their home after the LA fires. And she keeps sharing this line, which I think is find the good, find the God. And for her, that really is helping her navigate. And there have been so many, so many examples of wonderful acts of compassion and generosity during this time. And those are things that can move us to a sense of awe. Number 5 is collective effervescence. It's the energy of a crowd. Ha! So if you've ever been in a stadium when the home team is winning, maybe the Super Bowl was, or if you've been lucky enough to be at a Super Bowl, or any big sporting event, or at a concert when the entire crowd sings in unison, that electric feeling is collective effervescence. And it is that power of shared emotion. And if you allow yourself to really pay attention, it can be a very awe inspiring event. Next time, when you are in a group, whether it's a yoga class or a family dinner, take a moment to feel the energy of togetherness. That connection itself is really awe inspiring. Number 6 is spiritual experiences. Spiritual awe isn't necessarily religious. It's that deep sense of connection to a higher power, to humanity, to the universe. It's the feeling of being part of something eternal. If you have not read it, I'm a big fan of the book Being Mortal by Dr. Atul Gawande. I listen to the book on the repeat often. And in it, he shares his experience of scattering his father's ashes in the Ganges River, which for millennia, the Hindus have been scattering their loved ones' ashes in the Ganges because it's believed that this is how they obtain moksha, which is attainment or uh, the liberation from the human body. And he was commenting that for him, who he isn't really a practicing Hindu, he was much more concerned about the fact that he was going to get sick because he is the oldest son and they have to drink a little bit of the water from the river. And he was more concerned about the only partially decomposed bodies and all of this, But when he got there and experienced this awe-inspiring ceremony, it really helped him connect with his ancestry and with the past. And for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, this is what people have been doing. Number 7 is epiphanies, learning something that changes our worldview. Awe can come from ideas, from moments of realization that shift how we see ourselves and the world. So try this. Read something today that expands your thinking. It could be a scientific discovery, a historical event, or even a perspective that you've never considered before. I actually did this recently, and I'm going to be sharing that in future episodes because I've kind of made a decision about something in terms of how I want to um, make some changes in my life. And they really came from expanding my worldview. And number 8 is life and death, the beginning and the end of our lives. Few things evoke awe as powerfully as birth and death. The fragility and beauty of life itself can really stop us in our tracks and leave us in reverence. Reflect on a moment when you truly felt the weight of life's impermanence. Let it be a reminder to live fully with intention and appreciation. So, like I said, awe isn't just this rare and fleeting emotion. It's a way of seeing the world. It's one that makes us less stressed, more connected, more alive. And the more that we cultivate awe, the less we feel the need to numb, escape, or control everything around us. Experiencing awe isn't just about feeling good. It literally changes how our brains function. And studies show that awe does reduce stress and inflammation. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system and it calms our bodies and lowers our levels of stress hormones. Number 2, it shifts focus away from the self. Awe makes us feel connected to something greater, reducing those self centered thoughts and worries. It encourages pro social behavior. People who experience awe are more likely to be generous, cooperative, and kind, and it enhances creativity and curiosity. So, awe makes us more open minded and encourages big picture thinking. Awe shrinks our ego and expands our world. So, because it is so powerful, I really want you to take some time to notice and pay attention to awe. Awe isn't something we have to chase. It is already all around us. We just have to train our brains to notice it. So today, I challenge you, take a moment to notice something small and beautiful. I love this story I'm going to share real quickly because it just reminds me to look for awe. My third son, I think of him as my magnifying glass for the world. And when he was young, he was constantly his attention span. He was constantly distracted by things, and we were trying to hurry to get to school. You know, the mommy drop off line, and we were late. And we were, I was, you know, encouraging him along. Come on, come on, come on. We got to go. We got to go. And he literally was running out our door and he dropped to his stomach. And I thought, I was like, what's wrong? Did you hurt yourself? And he said, no, mommy, come look, come look, come look. And I was like, no, no, come on. We got to go. We got to go. We got to get in the car. He said, no, mom, come look. And so I stopped myself. I joined him down on the ground and he was looking at a blade of grass. And he said, do you see the dewdrops? And there was this blade of grass with five, like, or, multiple dewdrops. And he was focused on that. And he stopped me to show me that and wanted me to see that. And I think of that when I think of experiencing awe. It's all around us. We just have to look for it and we have to train our brains to pay attention. Find a moment today where you can be fully present and tell somebody about something that amazed you today. Really take the time to stand in amazement of this world. Creating awe is how we can feel more connected, more curious, and alive. I want to thank you for joining me on Think Thursday. Go out, find your next ordinary moment of awe, and please share it with me. Send me an email, drop it into the Facebook group, and I will see you all on Monday.